In tonight's headlines, the Mainland expresses regret and sadness over the death of a 10-year-old Japanese boy who was stabbed to death in Shenzhen. British rock band Coldplay confirms 3 concerts in Hong Kong, which will be among the first major events to be held at Kai Tak Sports Park. And a second wave of explosions rocks Lebanon, killing 20 and wounding more than 450 people.
A 10-year-old Japanese boy died in a hospital in Shenzhen this morning after he was stabbed while on his way to school yesterday. The Japanese consul general in Guangzhou broke the news to the media.
病院で治療を続けていた男子ですが、日本人学校の児童ですが、19日の未明、お亡くなりになりました。
中方对发生这样的不幸事情。
Expressing regret and sadness on behalf of the nation, Foreign Ministry spokesman Lin Jian said it was an unfortunate incident. Lin added that both countries are currently in communication and the isolated incident will not impact diplomatic relations. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida called the attack extremely despicable and has strongly urged the Chinese authorities to provide a prompt account of the circumstances surrounding the event and to ensure that similar incidents do not occur in the future. The flag at the Japanese embassy in Beijing was lowered to half-mast to mourn the killing. The tragic incident occurred when the boy was about 200 meters from his school in Nanshan district. A 44-year-old suspect, surnamed Zhong, was arrested at the scene, and authorities have launched an investigation. The attack took place on a sensitive date which is commemorated in China as the start of Japan's invasion before the Second World War. Japanese Foreign Minister Yoko Kamikawa has urged Chinese authorities to review security measures at Japanese schools. Earlier this year, a Japanese mother and her child were wounded in a knife attack in Suzhou, eastern China. A Chinese bus attendant who tried to intervene was killed in the incident. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
Hong Kong has soared to the 9th position in the annual talent ranking, jumping up 7 spots compared with last year. The International Institute for Management Development unveiled the rankings today based on data from 67 economies. This marks the first time the city got back in the top 10 since 2016. While researchers rank the economies based on 3 talent competitiveness factors: readiness, investment and development, and appeal, Hong Kong topped the ranking in the percentage of science graduates. A government spokesperson credited the achievements to education and talent admission schemes. Meanwhile, Switzerland kept the top spot on the table, while Singapore rose to 2nd place from 8th last year, and Luxembourg fell 1 place to come in 3rd.
British rock band Coldplay is set to perform 3 concerts at the newly constructed Kai Tak Sports Park in April next year, marking the venue's first major international act. With a capacity of 50,000, the concerts are expected to attract overnight visitors and stimulate local spending. Timothy Choi, executive director of the Tourism Association, emphasized that Coldplay's decision to perform exclusively in Hong Kong and the South Korean capital Seoul during their East Asia tour will likely draw tourists from the mainland and other countries within the region. He noted that overnight visitors typically spend over $5,000, significantly boosting local consumption. To maximize the economic benefits, he also advocated for enhanced transport services, such as shuttle buses to connect concert-goers with popular areas like Central and Tsim Sha Tsui. Meanwhile, Casper Choi, executive director of the Federation of Hong Kong Hotel Owners, views this event as a great opportunity to promote the city as a vibrant travel destination. Fans can get online access to pre-sale tickets on October 7th by signing up on Coldplay's official website. All other tickets will go on sale on October 10th. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News. Chief Executive John Lee arrived in the capital this morning for the 27th Beijing-Hong Kong Economic Cooperation Symposium and Cooperation Promotion Conference, which happens tomorrow. Lee was welcomed by Liu Mei-ying, Deputy Secretary General of the Beijing Municipal Government. During his visit, the city chief is also set to attend the signing ceremony for a new industrial cooperation agreement between the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology and the SAR government. Accompanying Li is the Financial Secretary, Paul Chen, who emphasized the opportunity this visit presents to promote Hong Kong's role as a regional supply chain management center and an international financial hub. Chen highlighted the importance of enhancing the city's position on a global stage and attracting international markets. The Office of the Privacy Commissioner for Personal Data has launched investigation into 5 organizations after uncovering 23 anonymous job advertisements that may violate the Personal Data Privacy Ordinance. The openings found on various online recruitment platforms requested personal information from job seekers without revealing the company's names. During a review of 13 online job sites, the Privacy Commissioner's office examined over 22,000 postings, identifying 23 that solicited sensitive information, including identification numbers and resumes, while providing insufficient contact details for verification.
佢就提供咗一個聯絡電話號碼喎。
Commissioner Ada Chan criticized one job listing which provided a contact number consisting of 8 zeros, highlighting the lack of transparency. This clearly makes it impossible for job seekers to identify the company, she stated. Chung also highlighted that in the past 3 years, the office received 11 complaints from job seekers. In response to rising concerns, the Privacy Commissioner's office is urging job seekers to remain vigilant to prevent potential scams. Additionally, the office reported a significant decline in doxing cases related to political opinions. Through proactive inspections, 80 doxing incidents were uncovered this year, reflecting a 90% drop compared to 2 years ago. The Privacy Commissioner reaffirmed the commitment to protecting personal data while maintaining the freedom of expression and lawful operation of online platforms in Hong Kong. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News. Zhejiang province is bracing for some seriously unsettled weather as Typhoon Pulasan barrels towards eastern China. Authorities have issued yellow alerts for both the typhoon and heavy rainfall. The province elevated its emergency response level to 3. The Hangzhou-Xiaoshan Airport has cancelled 15 flights in and out of the city, while all passenger ferry routes in the region were suspended. In the coastal town of Sanmen, strong winds and rough seas have forced fishing boats to return to port for safety, while over 3,000 workers employed in shipping-related businesses have been evacuated. According to meteorological officials, Pulasan is moving quickly in a northwesterly direction and is expected to strengthen as it approaches the coast. The storm is projected to make landfall between Xiangshan in Zhejiang and Pudong in Shanghai later tonight. Local authorities are urging residents to remain vigilant and take necessary precautions as the storm approaches.
A day after pagers rigged with explosives were detonated across Lebanon, killing 12 people and injuring nearly 2,800. Another 20 people were killed and 450 wounded in a second wave of attacks when walkie-talkies and solar equipment exploded in the capital Beirut. The attacks, which are believed to be carried out by Israel, targeted members of Iran-backed militia group Hezbollah, but some civilians have also been killed. Some of the blasts were timed to inflict maximum damage and happened during funerals, where people were mourning the dead. The situation has led to commotion within the general population of Lebanon, and people are now scared of using any electronic devices. Israel has not commented on the blasts, but Defense Minister Yoav Gallant praised the excellent achievements by Israel's military and intelligence branches, leading to impressive results. Israel is entering a new phase in the war against Hezbollah, Gallant added. His remarks were followed by Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's vow to return tens of thousands of displaced Israelis securely to their homes, after they were forced to flee due to continuous bombing by Hezbollah. Fears of an all-out war in the region are being felt as Hezbollah plans to retaliate. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said America did not know about nor was involved in the attacks. But sources said U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin spoke to Gallant on Tuesday and was aware of the operation, though not in detail. Japanese company ICOM Inc. was dragged into the conflict as the walkie-talkies, which exploded, were manufactured by the Osaka-based company. However, ICOM said they had discontinued that model 10 years ago and claimed that the product was a counterfeit. Quentin Yang, Cable News. In an anticipated lockstep move with the U.S. Federal Reserve, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, the SAR's de facto central bank, cut its base rate by 50 basis points to 5.25% today. However, Jerome Powell, chairman of the U.S. Federal Reserve, cautioned that the reduction in lending rates by half a percentage point does not mean that the downward trend will continue at an aggressive pace. Banking giant HSBC will trim its best lending rate by 25 basis points to 5.625% from 5.87% effective tomorrow. Bank of China Hong Kong and Standard Chartered are also lowering their lending and Hong Kong dollar deposit rates by a quarter of a percentage point starting Monday. Howard Lee, acting chief executive of the Monetary Authority, urged people to remain cautious when it comes to applying for mortgages or making borrowing decisions, warning that interest rates will remain high for the foreseeable period of time.
至於全態利率嘅調整呢，
U.S. and Hong Kong interest rates are just a few factors influencing the economy and capital flow. Other important aspects also include the state of the real economy and geopolitical tensions, Lee said. Financial Secretary Paul Chen also appealed for caution, citing uncertainty in the U.S. economy and geopolitics. The Hang Seng Index got a much-needed boost, shooting 2% to cross the 18,000-point mark. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
In an effort to preserve cash, U.S. aircraft manufacturer Boeing will temporarily suspend the jobs of tens of thousands of staff across America after striking workers halted production of some of its airplanes. The work stoppage threatens to cost Boeing billions of dollars, deepening the crisis at a company already facing significant challenges. The aerospace giant said U.S.-based executives, managers, and staff would be asked to take 1 week of furlough every 4 weeks, as long as the standoff with workers continues. More than 30,000 factory workers in the northwestern U.S. states of Washington and Oregon are demanding a 40% pay hike and have overwhelmingly rejected a proposal for a 25% increase over 4 years. The financial impact is already being felt across the wider U.S. economy, as Boeing has asked suppliers to halt shipments. Boeing employs about 150,000 people across the country and has put a freeze on new recruitment.